go, everybody. It's your boy McWhoopin, and today we are back with yet another episode of NHL Franchise with your Newfoundland Squid Jiggers. And today we are doing the other half of this pre-record, or re-record of this episode that we kind of split into two. And the audio it didn't work properly, so we're kind of re-recording on all this, and right now we're starting off just before we actually get into re-signing phase. We are cleaning house. We are taking out all of our coaches just because we want to kind of upgrade them, get better coaching staff for our team, just to make sure our guys are better at growing and try to find ones with better fits, with being future me that actually already went through this, and also having the several days of hindsight between this. I probably should have done a little bit better job on selecting my new coach, but it is what it is, and we can always redo this again in a year or two. But there we go. Now we'll move our way into our re-sign phase. We got multiple players that are on our phase, including Meglin and Delikovic, which we're going to go and re-sign them all, which is what we need to do. And start scrolling through. Yeah, we got Samford, we got Stepan, Toffoli, we got Meglin right there, which again, we're definitely going to want to re-sign him, even if it is just a, even if he doesn't pan out, we can re-sign him, especially on a long term, and going full 8 and signing him for like a million a season. Even if he doesn't pan out, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that much of a hit for us, but if he does pan out, $1 million a season for somebody who's playing even bottom 6 minutes is still quite good, especially if he gets low to mid 80s. We'll be happy with that. And then, of course, we're going to get Eklund signed because he's our stud franchise player. And again, hindsight being 2020, doing this, several days after recording initially, I probably should have made him a little more of a focus for our lines and all that stuff, because spoiler is that I completely kind of forgot about him for setting him up for the new season. I also picked him for the coach, so that's something I'm going to have to do down the line. But yeah, we'll try again with Donato to see if we can get him on the Meglin contract. Because if we can get him for that discount, that would be nice as well. Cop, try to re-sign him, but he ends up becoming quite difficult in negotiations. Which, think about it now, should have been a sign that we shouldn't have bothered with him. He was going to be this much of an annoyance when trying to sign him, and we probably should just let him go. But, it is what it is, because we could have gotten, a rookie in there. That would have been a lot better of an option, but there we go. Now we'll try to do Hosang. Switch him over to a one-way, and then we can bump him up to a full 8-year contract. Do the Meglin contract with him as well. 0.975 for 8 years. Instead of Hosang pans out, he's good. And if he doesn't, you can always trade him for a bag of pucks. So It is what it is. Carlson, yeah. Don't really need him. 77 overall, 30. He can toss his ass to the curb. Now these three, they're all young. They can all have the potential to grow a little bit more, get themselves into a bottom 6 NHL role. And again, for $1 million a piece, not going to be too bad for us. So if we can get him in, great. If not, these contracts shouldn't be that hard to ship, so it should be easy for us. There we go. Luff's not ready. Smith. Smith could always be a good possibility for us. Get another 8-year at a 1.3. It'll be a little bit more expensive than everybody else, but still not bad. Allard. And we'll actually just do the 2-way contract, and we'll give him the 3 years. See if he can actually improve on his own first before committing. And there we go. We got Bernard and Lambos and Francis and King, but they can stay in the juniors for now. Actually, don't need to move them up. At least not until they are season 2 ready to go. So a lot of them will be next season. We can try to move them in. And now Hartman. 26, 79. Doesn't have too much more room for growth, plus we still have more than enough guys right now anyway, so we can always let him go. And I got Stepan and Toffoli. And 2 veterans. Just for Stepan. And wanting $5 million a season. Toffoli wanting 4.5. 4.5 is a little bit easier to eat, so plus we can probably get a good discount on him. There you go, 4.1. And Stepan, I said with his pay, it's a bit too much, so I might as well just let him go. And Sanford, got 26, 84 overall. He's going to be a good piece for us as we transition, and he should be a good veteran presence on the line, so we can keep him along. See if we can get a nice team discount for us. And there we go. That are all of our skaters. Now we got our one goalie that needs it, Nedeljkovic. And we can make sure that we get him signed off, get him in for 3 years, and bump the cash a little, and see if we can get a little bit of a discount on our end again. And there you go. That's going to be everyone that we're going to need. So there we go. So we got Jari. Still got a couple years to go. Malik and Nickerson, they can sell the juniors for a while before we need to actually even sign them. Malik, next season, he can be our AHL goalie. There you go. Now we'll advance ourselves a day, and we'll see exactly what we can get out of this. So check our coaches. Nobody could be re-signed. Our it's called Scout. We got the one Wojcicka, which is NHL Central, had a C-. I know we can actually get equivalent or possibly better, so we can huck them to the curb because we don't need them. And I'll let them go now. Come back over. We'll actually advance the day that we were planning to advance. And Cope still said no. And that kind of the bugger. Sanford said no. A little annoyed by that one. And Donato also said no. Again, kind of annoyed those three said no, but then everybody else, Muglin, Foley, Hosang, Dedlikovic, Smith, Allard, Luff, all said yes. So we got everybody else, who were just those three that were our holdouts. It's kind of annoying. So Sanford, I'll just give them a little bit less of a discount. So take only $100,000 off. See if he'll take that one, because he's definitely a piece we want to keep. And there's Cop and Donato, the other two that are left. And here's another contract. Bump him up one more year. Leave him with the same contract time and see maybe that one goes. And Donato. Won't offer him the full 8, but just give him a 3. And that's it. Nobody else that we need to look after. Goalie, there we go. There's Novakovic. Set for a few more years. Cop again saying no. Sanford saying yes. And lastly, Donato also saying yes. So there we go. Got the team that we needed. Everyone's in there. And again, hindsight being 2020, I should have kicked him to the curb at this point, but now we'll even give him exactly what he wanted, and still says no, which slap to the face. And now we'll even offer him more than what he wanted. At a 1.6, so he better grow or he will be shipped this season. Because we got Eklund. He is waiting in the wings. He's ready to go. Chomping at the bit. And there we go. Now we can finally sim ourselves to free agency. Yeah, contract limit, who cares? Now we can finally get to our coaches. And finally try to hire them on. Find out who we're going to take. There's plenty of options around here. I want somebody with good teaching to get our young guys going. And good everything else overall. So one of the better options here would be Cairns, but he also wants a lot of money. So could offer him all that. Or that gonna do the interview process, which hindsight being 2020, the interview process is just a stupid idea. You don't need to have this done in the game. So if you are playing this, don't bother with this, because it is just annoying and doesn't really do much for you So yeah, for me, it's just been a waste of time. Even doing the interviews with the players doesn't really help that much. I guess the question of whether or not he thinks he's ready is pretty much one of the only ones that you kind of want to know. Like, is ETA for being in the NHL, which, it's either he's going to be in NHL ready right away or not, but still you're kind of waiting on what his potential is going to be. Is going to be a little more important than anything else, because if he's bottom of six NHLer, if he can be several years away from the NHL, or he could be elite and several years away from the NHL, and that several years later, that we got that elite going up to mid 80s, where that bottom sixer is going to be high 70s, so you're not going to really get as much out of them. So yeah, it's kind of, aside from the one question of like how long do you think you're going to be ready, helps a little bit in terms of kind of where he might be in terms of stats, but aside from that, questions aren't really all that useful. So here's Karen's. As I said, you got a couple teams interested in him. A bit too expensive as it is. I could spend the money because they don't actually have hard caps, even though it does say it's a 5.6 million. I can spend over that. But Theodore is kind of the same, a lot of the stats. But also like almost half the price. So between the two, it'd probably be a better option to take Theodore to save ourselves some extra money as we're still rebuilding. We can even overpay him a little to make sure he actually hops onto the team. There we go. From that 4-year. And he should be good to go. Now we can keep on going. Checking around for our different coaches, because we're going to need the entire slate of them. This is going to take a little while as we actually go through all of our different coaches. Now we got our associates, which we could pick up Joe Thornton. But this teaching ain't that great. As I said, we want to be building up all the rooks, so definitely going to want somebody who does have that teaching status. Bradford would be a good option for that. And again, since we paid less for Theodore, or we're offering less for Theodore, we can pay a little bit more for the other coaches as well, so it gives them a little bit more of an incentive to come along. Go on. I'll give that one to Bazzina. We'll see if he takes that one. I'll just keep on looking through here. There's Como. See if Como will bite for us. Jacek. Try to get him on board. And Wisniewski. There we go, there's 6 of us down. Now it's just up to the goalie coaches. We gotta find 2 that A will work for us and B will give us some good training for our goalies. Patterson, our AHL coach, head coach, will see. We can see if he'd be willing, but we'll just keep on going around. See if we can find a couple more. Have to go all the way down to associate coaches. See if we can pull in a couple. And we'll try Johansson as our NHL coach. Give him a little extra cash. I'm gonna go down to our assistant coaches. We'll see if we can find somebody here that'll do the job for us. And now check out our scouts. We can try to find one last scout that we have, which Dubois is our only non-C scout that's here. Right now we're already over budget on our scouts, but again, we don't really need to worry about that. We don't have any punishment for being over on our scouting or our coaching budget, so that's good. So there we go. There's Dubois offered a contract. So we got our AHL. Right now it's just debating whether or not to fire one of our AHL coaches. So we have a C minus or D minus for AHL coaches. Or AHL scouts. At that point, might as well just shove him off D minus, upgrading him to a B minus. So should get way better scouting for the AHL. And we can just find a NHL scout, which Markstrom fits the bill for us. There we go, we got ourselves 2 scouts. All of our goalies, all of our coaches have been offered. And now could go into free agents, but first off we need to know exactly what we're going to need. As we're so we make sure we have the staff, the players that we need. It also doesn't help the fact that we don't know exactly what the system is that the new coach is going to want, so that does make things a little more difficult. But at least with our progression, a lot of the guys have gone up a little bit at least. I've gotten some progression hopefully with our new coaching staff. Our teaching, our progression should go up quite a bit more. So we should get more gains out of these guys. Yeah, those numbers down here, yeah, those ones are looking a lot nicer. We get like 17, 25 overall increases. And here's our morale. The minor league is actually doing quite well, but our main one not so much. Yeah, we got 3 centers. We're definitely gonna need another center. 3 left wingers, so we need another winger. And then 5 right wingers, so we need 1 more of those. Oh, sorry, we need 1 more of those. And there's all of our D, which we have 8D ready to go for NHL status. Technically 9. If you want to count Mete. So D is fine. We could probably even trade 1 of our D to get somebody else if we need them. And we kind of have for players to pick up. They are relatively expensive, especially the top tier ones, which we could afford, but we don't need to do that right now. There we go, we got our assistant coach, and we got our AHL head coach. And our AHL associate coach said no. But our AHL assistant coach, goalie coach said no, sadly, for the NHL. Burmistrov. I was going to say yes, but it already filled, so there you go, there's 1 of my scouts. And stupid trade for Miller for Shen. Miller 2/3. There we go, showing the 3 coaches we got, our AHL head and our 2 assistant coaches, 1 for each side. Now we'll try to see if we can get anybody else. Theodore still hasn't said anything yet, so we're still waiting on his decision. So these 4 more contracts to offer. I'll try to look for our associate. Again, kind of debating on Thornton a lot. Because why not have Joe Thornton? Because it's, Joe Thornton. Bradford. Would also be a very nice option with good teaching. Bertuzzi. Got strong special teams. So that could help us out quite a bit with our special team stuff. So we'll try him. And we'll see if we can pick up a good associate coach. Kachik. Kind of a good middle of the ground. Still has okay teaching as well. Should be good for us. Now it's just going to be trying to find those goaltending coaches. Bradford said no. There we go. Markstrom said yes. There's our last scout. And the stupid trade again. And Theodore finally says yes, so we got ourselves our head coach, which is what we needed. And Bertuzzi said yes, so now we got our associate coach. So our NHL coaches are almost ready to go. Now that we filled out most of our staff, the rest of them should fall in a little bit easier. So our 2 goalie coaches and our AHL associate coach. Should be improvements over the old guard anyways, so let's hope that this goes well. As we look for our new coaching staff. We'll do a little sort. Specialties. Sort for a goalie. Try to see if you can find 1 or 2 that kind of fit the need of good, decent overall, and still have good teachings for goaltenders so we can keep them fully trained. So try with Johansson first. See if we can offer Johansson our NHL goalie position. Give him a little extra cash. See what he thinks. And let's try to find ourselves an associate coach on its own. Thomas Koch might be able to be our option. Give him a little extra money, see if he'll pop his way in for us. Sort through, scroll way down and see if we can find ourselves one last goalie coach. Patterson. Try to pay him a little extra money. Let's try offering him. I guess I didn't bother offering him the position. But McCarthy has an A+ overall. Let's give him the HL position. Offer him some fundage. And there we go. So now, finally go check our free agents. I had to see what's available still. Got to see what needs we still need to get filled. Hoffman would fit probably pretty good with us, so. The nice thing is that nobody's really looking for him right now, but see, it says for Coach Dufresne's scheme, which is not the coach that we have because we have Theodore now. So our new coaching system isn't showing up, so we're gonna kind of have to wait a little bit on that one. See who fits and who doesn't. I'm gonna wait for the season to start. Yeah, so give Hoffman this contract offer. Krejci here. With him and Stahl and Getzlaff are all a bit too old. Don't want to really go somebody that old as our extra center. If we're going to do that, we're going to probably pay for it on the cheap because I don't want to be spending that much money on them. Going through, there you go. Something like Stastny. An 83, but he's only $4 million a season. Compared to like the 7 or 5s that are out there. We save a little extra money by going with Stastny. Because Walmart, if I could, I'd take Walmart, but still a restricted free agent, so couldn't really do much with him. Bukestad and Granlund could have potentially been options as well, being a dual position player. Stastny being a very strong playmaking center. Definitely be a good option for us, so we can give him a little extra money. Only keep for a season, let our rookie kind of develop a little bit faster, a little bit on his own. Give him that year, and then he could potentially move into the top 6 after that, but Stastny immediately says yes. So that was quick and easy for us. Look at advantage the other day. We'll get our associate coach good to go. We got one of our goalie coaches in, and Montreal offering us a stupid trade. I really have no idea why they think that's a good idea. There we go, another goaltending coach. So that is everyone. All of our coaches are in now. Got them all. There we go, all 8. And hopefully they will all be able to help keep our team going. Have them boost up our young guys, make them into the legit super sets that they need to be. There we go. So that is all good. Now we go into our free agency. Find what we need. First find what we need, and then we can try to get our free agents signed, ready to go for the season. Now, as I said, we got our 4 centers now. We got Strome, Stastny, Jenner, Kopp. Which, as I said, we could easily use a rookie as the 5th, or number 4, and then put Kopp as our 5th center. And then we have our 3 right wingers here, 5 right wingers and 3 left wingers. As I said, our D we're good on. We don't have to worry about our D at all. And our AHL players are pretty much fine. Don't have to worry about them that much. I might need to stock the cupboards on those for a little bit quicker now. We're definitely gonna need one more left winger. There's our D. We got everyone we need. We really don't have to worry. So we'll probably even have one too many, which you could possibly trade. And trade one for a younger prospect. Try to get somebody slightly better. And so head over to the free agency. Still waiting to hear about Hoffman. So let's somebody a Miller, Montebo for 2nd or 5th. God no. That's just a bad idea. So now finally get around to editing the trade block and getting rid of everything that's on there so we can actually have our own time to do what we need on there. Clear that out. There we go. And clear out all those 3. There we go. Now we no longer have our surpluses or wants. And there's Hoffman saying no. So we got to make sure we repeatedly beat him to death every single time he shows up on the ice. And Vrana, really like to sign him, but we don't have the pieces for it because we traded away all of our picks. So even just trying to offer, they won't let us do it, which is sad. But oh well. Not much I can do about it, so just let it be. Now we got Sad here. For him a contract. That'll give us our extra winger. I'll be running our 4 lines of lefties. So we who else we can? We actually grab anybody else, but we can try with Sorensen. So there we go. So we still have the extra option if Sad says no. And we still have the possibility that Sorensen says yes. So, man, it's a couple of days. See if anybody says anything. There we go. Sad said yes, so there's a 4, and Sorensen said no. Which kind of sucks. And now we can check around, see if there's anybody else to kind of think about. We can try to see if we can get in Kovalchuk. And we can possibly get us a few extra snipes out of that, because he may be old, but he can still pop those into the net when he's motivated to do so. He decided to say no because of lack of chemistry. Could offer more money, but I don't know. You could always just go with the younger, better option for him, like somebody like Grigorenko or possibly Letkinen. Between the two, though, I would easily select Letkinen, as he's more versatile, cheaper, younger. So we can pop him in and try to see if we can get a little extra growth out of him. And there we go, Letkinen saying yes. That's good to see. And there we go, now we can simulate ourselves all the way over to the start of the new season. And so now, gotta kind of wait for that simulate to happen. Kind of let that roll itself through here. Time to kind of perform our roster moves and assign captains, stuff like that. We'll just get ourselves into the actual managed roster section so we can make sure we know for morale who we're going to choose. And yeah, so Sprong, Strome, Bufflin, Gustafsson. There are 3 on-ice leaders, Sprong, still a presence. These guys seem pretty good, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Bufflin. Still way up there. I got plenty of strong players on our team. Now, time to do my line edits, and back with you shortly. What we got? There we go. This is gonna be our line. So we got Strome, Sanford, Gurianov, DeBrusk, Sassy, Toffoli, Sad, Jenner, Sprong, Wood, Shaw, Letkinen. And that should be a solid 4 lines. Sergachev, Bufflin. There's a first line of D. Zataraw, Gustafsson, Gould, and Miller for a final line. And of course the goalies, Lukovic is up to an 82 now. Getting ready to battle with Jerry over starting minutes. Which will be good for us. And there we go. So now, time to set up all of my scouting before we finish off the video for the night. And there we go. So that's now done. So pretty much ready to go. Everything is pretty much set up for us. So pretty much almost ready to leave it there for the night. So would like to thank everybody for watching. And remind them to remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that, because it all definitely helps out the algorithm. So anybody who does any of that, it is truly appreciated on our behalf, because it gets us fed to the algorithm, which gets more people watching. So that's always going to be great. Even if you don't just watching, it's always thankful as well. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching again, and have yourselves a good night.